What are the Sparks doing? I'm being serious. What are they doing? Why? 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 Why did they feel the need to go all in mid? Dearica Hamby and Kelsey Plum are like 10 years older than Rickea Jackson and Cameron Brink. If not 10, close to 10. They're not on the same timeline. What are they doing? What are they doing? Like, by the time Cam Brink and Rickea Jackson are ready to be top tier players for a championship team, and they're going to be off their rookie deals, and you're not going to be, like, Dearica Hamby's going to be past her prime. Kelsey Plum's going to be past her prime. Maybe Dearica Hamby for Satu happens, and they try to, have Kelsey Plum as their vet for a few years, and then eventually make her go into the background a little bit and just be a glue guy. But, like, why? Like, I can't see why. They traded the number 2 pick in this year's draft. And not only that, like, if they had gotten if they had somehow just managed to get themselves the number 9 pick for number 2 is not too bad. They gave up 13 as well. They gave up the 13th pick, which is essentially a first round pick, because there's 13 teams in the league. They gave up the 13th pick. So, I'm so confused. I am so confused for the LA Sparks, because yes, you've got Cameron Brink. She's coming back from an ACL. It's probably going to take her 2 to 3 years before she's at her peak. Rickea Jackson is good, but she's not ready to be a 1A or even 1B right now. And I understand you've lost the 2020, like, you've lost your 2026 pick already. And look, not a bad trade. Got your Rickea Jackson. You gave up the 2026 pick to get Rickea Jackson and Kia Nurse. Don't hate it. Do not hate that. And it's going to be 2026 draft is, in my opinion, like, there's Flaw J possibly, Tania Latson, Lauren Betts, maybe Reagan Beers. Like, it's not 2025 as far as depth. And 2025 is a deep as feck class. Like, the only logic is that by the evaluation of the Sparks, they were not interested in Kiki Iriafen, which I think makes sense. I really do. I think not taking Kiki Iriafen makes perfect sense, because Kiki Iriafen is going to come off the bench. She's not as good as Hamby. She's not as good as Brink. Kiki Iriafen will be coming off the bench. Kiki Iriafen is fine, but I'm like, if I wanted a non-shooting undersized big, I'd take Anissa Morrow. Like, if I was doing my own draft, I would have Kiki somewhere between 5 and 7 in the draft. Like, I think Cheyenne Sellers is a better prospect than Kiki Iriafen. But the only thing is that there is a possibility that Cheyenne Sellers is there at 9. So you get 9. Maybe they think who they want is going to be there at 9 and not there at 13. Which leads me to believe maybe they want Tahina Paopao. Or they want Cheyenne Sellers. Because I like Sellers with Kelsey at the 2. Because it means Kelsey doesn't really have to play defense. You've got your size. You've got enough shooting, because I think with the way they will like to play, they're going to get up a lot of threes. And it's a really modern coach who wants the team to shoot a whole bunch of threes. Maybe the coach isn't interested in Olivia Moss. Like, everyone's talking about Kiki Iriafen. I don't think the Sparks would have any interest in Kiki Iriafen. They want 3-point shooters. And whatever about Cheyenne Sellers is a 6'2" point guard who is a mediocre shooter. So at least Cheyenne Sellers is going to be like, maybe she can be your one player that can't shoot. Or maybe they want Tahina Paopao, who is the shooter. Who's the shooter they want? Maybe they want, like, I was about to say Van Lit, but if they wanted Van Lit, she'd be there at 13. But, like, I think Paopao is probably their preference. I think they're thinking, we can turn Paopao into a point guard, and then we've got Paopao, Plum, Hamby, who can shoot the 3 a little bit, Rickea Jackson, who she'll eventually be able to shoot the 3 a little bit. That jump shot will translate the 3 with Cameron Brink. We've got this 5-out offense. We run through Kelsey Plum, and we get a lot of 3s up. Like, that's the way it's probably going to be, because they have a coach that just wants the team to shoot 3s. Like, that's the whole philosophy of this team's coach, is that. So maybe maybe their logic is that they think Olivia Miles on a hot streak, and they don't want Kiki Iriafen. Like, I don't see the fit of Kiki Iriafen, but they don't want Kiki Iriafen. And then I've always said this about this draft. I think it's a 2-person draft. I think you could possibly between 3 and 20 find players at a similar level. Like, Sanaya Rivers is like, she's going to be a late second round pick. She is somebody that at the start of the year was getting top 5 consideration. If Janiyah Barker comes back to college or doesn't go back to college, there is a chance she's there in the second round. Raven Johnson is going to be a second rounder, maybe third rounder, and she can come in day one and play a role as a lockdown defender. So this year's draft is so deep that it can maybe make sense, but it only makes sense is if they really want specific players and they know that play and they don't want to take it up. Like you don't do a Vontae Mack no matter what situation. Like, you don't do that. You don't draft a potential 7th pick at number 1 just because he's your guy. Like, you don't do what the Cavs did with Anthony Bennett. You trade down if you know that's going to happen. And maybe their logic is, look, we're going to trade down in the draft and we're going to get Kelsey Plum from that. And again, Kelsey Plum, from everything I've read, Kelsey Plum is going to stay. So look, maybe I'm trying to talk sense into this, because very clearly Olivia Miles this is a 2-person draft. And in my opinion, Olivia Miles is the best of this 2-person draft. And she's going to be there at 2 because you just have to take Paige because she's Paige. Heck, I would, if you were asking me, again, based on everything I've evaluated, I would take Dominique Malonga number 1. But Dominique Malonga is obviously not going to be there at 9. I think potentially Dominique Malonga goes 2. I think there's a chance of that. I think if you're a Chicago Sky fan, you are super excited today because Seattle are less likely to take Olivia Miles than LA were if they were at number 2. Even though I still think Olivia Miles does get number 2. So, yeah, why they did it, I don't know. I still think they could have made this trade without giving up 2. The problem is that I think the Aces were probably like, we want something more than just Jewel Lloyd for Kelsey Plum. Like, the Aces got Jewel Lloyd and 13 for Kelsey Plum. Not the worst trade in the world. Jewel Lloyd for Plum. Plum's just better, but not the worst trade in the world. And then the Storm got 2 for Jewel Lloyd. And the Sparks gave up 2 and 13 for Kelsey Plum. Like, I don't know how much I like this trade from the Sparks. The only way I like this trade is if it's clear at number 9 that they just take their guy. Like, or like their woman, but like, whatever terminology is, 2:20 in the morning. But like, that's what I think. I think if we might see Tahina Pau going there. And like, if Tahina Pau, I think New York at 7, Indiana at 8. I don't know if she gets past 7. But Indiana's not going to take Pau. So if Pau gets past 7, she's going to be there. And there's a possibility that Morrow gets taken at 7. And then Pau's not going 8. So then Pau could be there at 9. But if Pau's not there, you're hoping maybe Sanaya or Cheyenne Sellers is there. You get your big point guard. And then if they're not there, I don't know who the hell they're going to take, because I don't rate like Georgia Amore. I don't think she's the right pick for them either. But yeah, it's going to be a real interesting one. But anyway, I'll see you guys.